Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas. Hello, I'm Billy Cobbin, the Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
All right, here we go. It's right at that end, Jason. I always like to get that head. Ooh, man, got the cords. There we go. I like to get that headset like just on right when we go live. So, good morning, brother. What's going on?
So, not a whole lot. What you up to?
I needed to wear black today.
Hey, that's what I'm wearing.
Yeah. Well, see, you don't have this problem that I have.
I do too. I just wear black.
Man, come on, man. I've shot hoops with you, man.
You see how bad I am.
No, Jason, you were Karl Malone out there on the basketball court,
Man,
by the way.
Don't even start. I'm terrible at it.
There was that old country song, like digging up bones or something, but I was thinking of you throwing them bows. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly. No, it's all good. No, we need to get that going again, Rob. We need to get these people out in the community up here and seeing how good you can.
All right, Jason. Hopefully we're back. Yeah, we've been having some.
I hear you.
It's the rain.
Yeah, we've had tons of rain.
We had internet this morning again as soon as I came in, and then once we got going, the rain came. it's like, the rain's been washing out everything. Been washing out
man.
roads, washing out homes, washing out the internet.
You should have seen it at my house this morning. It was just, when I came closer to town, the rain slacked up, but man, it was pouring down rain this morning. And I've been mowing grass. I know these farmers out there and people raise hay are glad for this summer because, man, I can't think of another summer where we've been this blessed with rain, sometimes in abundance, but hey, many times throughout this part of the year we're complaining that it's so dry.
Yeah, it's been it's funny you mentioned these two things because, one, my nieces are with me this week. I thought that they would be bored out of their mind, because Bridget's working, I'm working, and they're just at home lounging around. They can get out. We have a little small golf cart, so they've been cruising around on that a little. Well, no, they haven't. It's been raining. They went yesterday. So I was talking to Deborah yesterday, our children's minister at First, and I said, I feel kind of bad for my nieces. I feel like they're bored out of their mind. And she goes, no, they're teenagers, right? I said, yeah. She goes, no, they're probably loving just lounging around. So last night I asked my niece, are y'all having a good time? Oh yeah, Uncle Rob, we're just enjoying lounging around. I mean, Deborah knew exactly what they were going to say. So it's worked out great.
I have a little problem with that lounging around at my house.
It's when the indentions in the couch start forming. It's pretty bad. So in and out, but I'm working off the hot now. We are here on this Thursday, as always, as we get underway this morning. A rainy morning to start your day. Rain, by the way, will remain in the forecast through this weekend and even into early next week. This is episode number 316 on this edition of Good Morning Huntsville. I had a couple of people yesterday. One lady emailed me, another one Facebooked me, and said we didn't even know Hello Huntsville existed. And it was a big thank you to Dr. Jones for coming last week with you. We had a wonderful interview, some great questions that you asked him. And, Jason, it was awesome because a couple of people responded to that. And one lady had said, Dr. Jones delivered my babies in the 70s.
Yeah.
And she goes, I didn't even know this existed.
That's so cool. Yeah, I know it. I think, how long do they say it takes for a small business to get going? And first year is always the hardest year, and second year is a lot like it. But I think this is something that's gaining traction, and before long, hopefully, all of Huntsville will turn here for local news.
Yeah, we're hoping. And by the way, I wanted to speak to those of you that have been following us with our Spirit Radio FM, and there's some of you this morning that are listening on the Spirit Radio FM app. I did want to let you know that we have made progress in that journey to getting a license. Yeah. We had a little small bump in the road, but we hope, according to my engineer, great guy, engineer guy, great people, and he said, hey, give me another location that we could do this. And so we found something that he thinks is going to work. And so for those of you journey for us, continue to keep that in your prayers. We believe it work. This.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's not only going to be on the app, but also so that's going to expand our reach, the reach of the program tremendously.
One thing that I was really looking forward to, Jason, is just have a heart for folks that are behind bars, and we have 7 prisons throughout this area,
right,
and I was sitting there thinking about the impact that. Yeah, it's cool, and people can download the app and all that, and that works, and it works very efficiently. But just the impact of having the radio waves be able to literally penetrate through the walls. Those guys can't get out, but the radio waves can get in.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping, and it's kind of been in my heart for a long time. It's weird how this journey in life, that we think we know where we're going.
Right.
But if we remain in faith, God is always – I always said it like this, Jason, and maybe you can throw some wisdom behind this because I know you've got it, man. It's I always say that whenever you remain in faith and have a positive outlook on life, God has doors in front of us every single day. But if we're in the wrong attitude and we're not being in faith and trusting in Him, we're not even going to see those doors.
Yeah, we can just be blocked and problem is in front of us and see what's doing in the bigger picture. That broadcast behind the walls is so important because that's sometimes the only access that they have to the outside world. And And I in the past, we've done things like this, and it's amazing the influence that the Word of God has behind the walls to men that are looking for hope. They live in brokenness, and many of them come out.
All right, round two. Our third hotspot this morning, Jason. Man, thank goodness that you're here. The iPhone, I'm like anti-iPhone, but your iPhone may be the one today.
I read I was doing some show. Read that Apple came out with a new design for the iPhone that may be released in 2026.
They're using the first we had 316 episodes of these major glitches before, and one day we'll be on the line and we won't have to worry about it. We want to welcome back in, and again, sorry for the technical difficulties this morning. I was taught when I was in Fargo, had a really awesome general manager up there of the radio stations, and she said, make sure you have a backup of the backup. Mm-hmm. Well, literally today, we had a backup of the backup of the backup. I mean, I don't know how many more you can have.
That's pretty good.
So Anyways, we are here, and hopefully the third hot spot's the charm. And we appreciate you guys being here so much this morning. We'll have our friend Roxanne Moss with us here in just a few moments, and we'll try to keep this thing running this morning. But Jason, you talked about earlier coming in, the rain has just been atrocious, but the farmers are going to greatly benefit from this, and but it's in the forecast all week. And the only thing that I really worry about is all the flooding. So many people have been so affected by such bad flooding.
Ground's already saturated, and lots of runoff. So yeah, we need to just pray for those people. What about your roof?
Man, thank goodness for Brian. He came out and put a small patch on that for me last week, and then we had a little bit more drip in. My nieces didn't want to wake us up. They're sleeping in that room, and one of my nieces literally, we have a bed in there, but they were like, we don't want to stay in the same bed. And I was like, well, one of y'all I'll put up the air mattress.
Right.
And my youngest niece, she's 15, the oldest is 16. They're about a year apart. And she said, well, I'll just sleep on the floor. I was like, you don't have to sleep. Don't make me feel rude, She's like, no, it'll be all right. So she put pillows down. Well, she's right under where the water would drip. So apparently it started dripping. And I'm not talking about, like, what do they say now about clothes? You got that drip. Is that it? This was the wrong kind of drip. And they didn't wake us up. And my niece, the one that wasn't even under it, heard it. And I'm thinking, my goodness, my 15-year-old niece can sleep through anything. And so she got towels and put where it was falling next to my other niece who was sleeping on the floor, and they got a Tupperware bucket. And so luckily everything was fine. And then Brian came back out. Brian's with Castle Rock, just does an awesome job. And he came back out and put a huge tarp over the whole corner yesterday. And so, man, I know that guy's so busy. And I don't know if you're like me, but I feel like I'm bothering people sometimes. I don't want to bother him because I know he's busy.
No,
but I sent him a message and he's like, "Man, I'm on my way to Houston. As soon as I get back, I'll do it." I was like, "That guy's going all over the place."
He really is a hard worker. I mean, he's working from sun up to sundown every day. I've seen him work circles around people.
My sister already corrected me. I knew I'd get something wrong. She said, your niece Zoe's 17, not 16. She's right. So I think 15 and 17 are the ages. So, but we are here today. Roxanne Moss of American Legion, Sam Houston, Post 95, will be joining us here in just a few moments. Had a chance to catch up with her and a chaplain there, Richard, I believe, yesterday, and over at the Post. Never had been out there. Beautiful facility that just honors our veterans and those that have served. And there's a lot of excitement around that post and the work that Roxanne has been doing now. It's been a safe haven for her. It's been a place that's helped her find hope. And she talked about that in a recent article. And she was so gracious in allowing us to publish that article on Hello Huntsville. We put that out last night, and we'll talk a little bit about that and maybe a little of Roxanne's story if she'd like to share some of that this morning as far as how she got connected to the Legion. We have these organizations. She gave me a stat yesterday, Jason, that something like 70 or 80% of veterans that are in this area didn't even know about what the Legion's doing, and she's been working very hard to promote that. And have you ever been in a place, like you've been in a community your whole life, and then you go into a building you've never been in before, and you're like, man, this don't feel like Huntsville anymore because you've never been. It's not familiar.
Yeah.
And I don't say it in a negative way, but that was me yesterday when I walked into the Legion. I'm like, this is a cool facility. They're on 10 acres of property also. Huge area in the backyard, and Danny from church said that they've had a car show over there before, and they do all sorts of stuff out there. Chili cook-off goes on in this back area. I'm like, I don't even feel like I'm in Huntsville anymore. I feel like this is a cool place to be. So
that's the way I felt when I walked into First Baptist Church Huntsville the first time. I didn't even know that the church was here because it sets off of the mains, and unless you're driving by the walls, you don't really see the church, And I always said that First Baptist Church is probably the best kept secret in Huntsville because you don't know it's there unless you know it's there.
Yeah. Well, the secret's out, and we'd love for you to join us. 9:30 Sunday school, 10:45 is the service. And I did lie. I always said Jason will get you out of there by noon.
It's getting worse and worse, Rob.
Well, that was I'll take the fall for that because my announcement thing. I think we went like 7 minutes with the video and everything. So
no, it was good. God is moving in the services,
absolutely,
and people are responding. And we always make time for decisions that have been made. And had a new family join this past Sunday, and we'll be baptized this Sunday. Three of them, a mother and a father and a young boy. And but man, what a powerful message in in baptism for a whole family to be baptized
Yeah.
together. So anytime like that happens, hey, we can postpone lunch.
Absolutely. Yeah, if we need to go 12:31 in the morning, we would. No, you're probably like, all right, guys, we'll take an intermission. But I did want to mention this real quick, if you don't mind me talking about it. I think there's just an incredible move of the Lord here in our community.
I do too.
And literally, I feel it throughout the world, but I feel it right here at home in Huntsville and Walker County. From you as a pastor, and you've been pastoring for a long time now,
Mm-hmm.
have you seen this type of movement before to where folks are just – I mean, we're going on, 5 weeks in a row now with baptisms.
Yeah,
It's just incredible.
And then I heard another one last night. I was talking to one of our young people, and there's going to be another baptism in a couple of weeks. So, no, I've been in ministry since 1999, and I really think what we're experiencing right now is something that I've never seen before. A lot of times we experience church growth through people transferring letters, moving from church to church, and you get that growth. But the natural growth of just people that are growing closer to God and then wanting to be involved, I've never seen anything like that happen in my ministry. I know it's happened many times in other people's ministries, but I'm just so thankful to what God is doing, and I'm so thankful for the staff and the team that He's put together there. And you're a big part of that, Rob. Just the people the good-hearted people that He's brought together, and the team that we have over there is it's all of us working for one cause. And there's such a great camaraderie and just great people. I just can't think of a better place to be in my life right now than where I am, and to see what God is doing is just I have to stand back, pinch myself, because it's just amazing, and it's wonderful, and it's something that people work their whole lives in ministry and don't see. I mentioned in the last service that over half of the Baptist churches baptize no one in the course of a year.
Yeah, that's unreal to think about.
Yeah, and we're like over 40 now this year alone, and last year we baptized over 40 or 50. I can't remember, but it's been wonderful.
The city of Huntsville's called us saying y'all are using a lot of water. So they didn't call it from us.
What we started doing is, because we've had so many baptisms, is we've invested in chlorine, kept the water in the baptistry and put some chlorine in there.
There you go. Well, it's a great thing happening, and the way God is moving at first, we pray that happens all over the community.
Amen.
We want to see every Bible-believing, Jesus-believing church.
That's right.
And this community flourish. And you had made this when we were talking about the National Day of Prayer and the Collegiate Day of Prayer, especially the Collegiate Day of Prayer.
Mm-hmm.
With what happened in Waco, they're seeing attendance up at all their churches, 70-plus churches in that area with young people. Baylor's a very huge campus. You were in the Waco area for some time. Mm-hmm. But I think that's a good kind of measuring stick about what God is doing in a community. I'm not saying to anything, obviously, but I'm saying to see how folks are working together in a community for one cause, and that's for the Lord. And, I love what you said. You said, man, wouldn't it be great to see every church in this community that believes in Jesus, see them overflowing with people? And I think that's a healthy heartbeat of the community.
Well, and it's not about First Baptist, and I always say this, it doesn't matter what, get it plugged into a church. You may be a different denomination or whatever. Just find you a church that you can plug into and get involved with, where you can grow closer to other people and closer to the Lord. That's what Jesus said. And all the prophets and the law is ways on this, to love your neighbor as yourself and love the Lord with all your heart, your mind, and your soul, and your strength, everything that you have. So he basically sums up the whole Old Testament by saying, hey, love others and love God.
Amen.
And churches that do that are going to continue to grow, and they're going to strengthen you. So just find a church somewhere. It doesn't have to be First Baptist.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we want to welcome you in this morning. Roxanne Moss, we'll have her on here in just a few moments. As always, big shout out to Paul Oley, the gallery. Paul, we love you, brother. Appreciate all that you do. And for all of your custom framing, photography, and more. It's Paul Oley, 1201 University Avenue, Paul Oley of the Gallery. Huge special shout-out. As I always say every morning, I never want to gloss these over because they mean so much to our platform. Elliot Herzlich of Elliot's Jewelers, online at elliotsjewelers.com. Elliot's been with me since pre-launch, before we even had the idea to do this, and he has been a major supporter of helping us continue to keep our foundation strong and grow our foundation, and we're so thankful to Elliot. So for all of your jewelry needs, please go by Elliot's Jewelers. You can go online first. You got to set up an appointment, but once you get that appointment, he'll be more than happy to meet with you. He's on the First National Bank up on the 4th floor. It's Elliot's Jewelers, online at elliotsjewelers.com. And, of course, here on this Thankful Thursday, big shout-out, as always, to Jason Bay, pastor at First, for being here with us as our Thursday support. We appreciate you guys. And, hey, man, you got to get – I sent you the RSVP. We're having the community dinner.
Yeah, I'm there. Count me in.
So count +9, right?
Yeah,
so,
+9.
So Jason +9. But we are we're having a community dinner. We opened that up to our foundation sponsors first for RSVP. We've got about 50 seats. And a little bit later today, we're going to be opening that up to the community. So those of you that follow this platform and have been friends of Hello Huntsville, we want to open up a special invitation to invite you to come out to eat with us on Thursday, August the 15th. Big shout out to Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. They have a beautiful new building right next to the home called the Sam Houston Community Room. And Kyle Kreiner, the brisketeer of Huntsville, is graciously being very generous. And we're going to have 2 briskets that if you've never had a Kyle Kreiner brisket, you are missing out. He's going to whip up 2 of those, 3 pork butts, and so we are just going to have the whole 9, as my dad would say.
Man, we're in for a treat.
So all the fixings and all that. Stay tuned a little bit later today as we will release that RSVP to our friends and followers here on Hello Huntsville. We want to invite you out. We want you to be a part of it. Again, it is going to be Thursday, August the 15th, but we do need you to RSVP because we want to make sure that we've got plenty of food. Bridget was asking me last night, she goes, how many people are you going to have this? I said, well, we're aiming for about 50 is about what we can do. And she goes, well, that's a lot of twice-baked potatoes I got to make. So Bridget's going to do have you ever had those, the twice-baked potatoes?
I've had those, not hers, but I'm sure I'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, so we want you to be a part of that, and we've invited many friends, and, of course, we'll, like I said, we'll open that up here in a little bit. Hey, before we take that break, I know Roxanne's been patiently waiting. On a serious note, we just want to let the Thompson family know that we are surrounding them in prayer right now. Randolph Thompson was a wonderful friend, and I just got some absolute heartbreaking news yesterday morning, unexpectedly, that he had passed the night before. Randy was the faithful owner of Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine here in Huntsville. He's just a tremendous man. Remember when I launched Hello Huntsville, Randy and I knew each other previously, but we really got to know each other more when I came back here to Huntsville. And he was looking to grow his business. And I said, Randy, man, you got to get plugged into the chamber. And he started to make friends and meet people through the chamber. When we hosted a business after hours event right after we came back, Randy said, Rob, I just want to help you. He wouldn't even allow me to pay him. And he came in and catered a meal for us, tried to pay him. He goes, no, I want to get my name out there. But he said, but most importantly, I want to help you. And that was the kind of man that Randy was. And so this morning, please keep the Thompson family in your prayers. No relation to Jason and Deneen. We have Jason and Deneen Thompson here on the show, but this is Randy Thompson of Granny Mary's. The family made a post yesterday and said with his passing that business will now be shut down indefinitely. He was just right down the street from us. But one thing and he served our country too, and so we thank him for his service and the legacy that he has left behind for his children. I've seen many wonderful pictures on social media of how involved he's been and the things that he's been there for his family. And I think one of the most important things about Randy, he and I, especially over the last 8 or 9 months, we've had a lot of life chats. And he has just been a man that has poured out so much to so many. And we talked about Jesus. And I can sit here today confidently saying that, I believe that he's in heaven because the conversations we had and the love that he had for Jesus. And,
Amen.
And, he was even talking. He goes, man, I want to come visit first sometime.
Awesome.
He was even wanting to come shoot hoops sometime.
All right.
And but we're going to miss Randy, and we just wanted to have a special moment to honor his life and his legacy this morning.
Definitely.
We'll take a break as Roxanne Moss is waiting patiently. She has been just sitting there saying, Rob, I'm just sitting here waiting. So we will be back in just a moment. Always great to have Roxanne. I do want to remind you, we are continuing this morning our Picnic, keyword. I still got a little bit of Double Dave's cash left over, Jason. I think we've got enough just to finish out this week. So Double Dave's, gift certificates, and do you like those? Do you like a good picnic?
I love a good picnic, but I don't know if this is picnic weather.
Keyword is pic. Have you had a picnic in a while?
It's been a while, but we like to go every now and then back to the back of our pasture. The kids love to go back there and take peanut butter and jelly and have a little picnic back there every now and then. So it hasn't been too long.
See, the back 40 to my dad meant something else. That meant I was in trouble. And he's like, boy, if you don't shape up, I'm taking you to the back 40. I don't know if you ever heard of that phrase, but that's what my dad called. I guess it was like the 40 acres behind our house.
Yeah.
So luckily he never had to take me to the back 40, but he put the fear of God in me when he would say that. So keyword, though, we'll wrap it up tomorrow, but we're continuing. Text in the keyword picnic, PICNIC, along with your name on the Granny Mary's Cajun, see, I'm thinking of Randolph. It used to be the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line. But you know what? We'll call it that in honor of him today. And Rick Boning of 0 Degree Creations picked up that sponsorship. But it is the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line at 936-339-0139. We'll take a break. We'll have a listen from our sponsors. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. More to come. It's Good Morning Huntsville.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Welcome to Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville, where we've been caring for your furry family members for over 4 decades. Nestled at 877 IH 45 South, our kennel is a perfect retreat for your pet. With a climate-controlled facility, spacious exercise yards, we ensure a comfortable and enjoyable stay. At Magnolia Kennel, we offer a range of options including overnight boarding, extended stay boarding, and doggy day out. But that's not all. We also provide additional pampering services like baths and nail care to keep your pets looking and feeling their best. Making a reservation is a breeze at magnoliakennel.com. We take great pride in our dedication to the community, supporting our local fire departments by providing oxygen pet masks. Stay connected and enjoy adorable pet updates by following us on Facebook. Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville is where dogs get to be dogs. Visit us at magnoliakennel.com to book your pet's next stay. We can't wait to meet your 4-legged family members.
The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, But combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
All right, Huntsville back at it. Time now is 8:08 in the morning as we continue on celebrating all things good here in our community. Thank you for joining us. Hey, and by the way, if you're on your way to work, you're probably experiencing not a little, but a lot of rain this morning. 80% chance of the wet stuff remains in the forecast. It'll stay in tonight, 70 degrees the low, 50% chance of rain. Well, how about Friday? Well, how about more of the same? 60% chance of rain. It'll taper off somewhat Friday night, and then it's right back in there. We'll finally have some gradual clearing on Monday, and then things will clear up, sunny and 92 on Wednesday. So that's your quick weather update, and we are back here in studio. Roxanne's been on the show before. I kind of got a little sad for a moment, Jason, because I was ready to blow that horn, you know. But, yeah. Did you ever get the horn? Roxanne got the horn.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, please
the
don't.
The horn of shame.
Please don't do that again. So Roxanne Moss-Joining. Good to see you, Roxanne.
Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you. Happy to be here as always.
So great to have you back on this morning. So, well, I had a chance. Roxanne is with the American Legion, Sam Houston Post 95. We were sharing some good stories there in that break, but you know, this community, and Jason can vouch for this as well. He's been here his whole life. He knows this area better than I, but this is a community that really is compassionate and caring and does a lot for our veterans. And so first and foremost, I wanted to say thank you for the energy and the excitement and all the things that you do in the community to promote the Legion. I'm so glad that you did, because I didn't know about the American Legion until I met you. So you've been doing this for a while. Roxanne, give us a little bit. You know, we don't have to go into details, but you know, you served in the Marines, and thank you for your service, by the way. But give us a little bit about your journey and how that eventually led to being involved with the American Legion, because I don't know if we've ever shared that before.
No, we haven't. I like to evade talking about me because it's just I just get so excited to share on everything else. You know, I am an import here from California. And I arrived in January of 2021, and my cousin Kelly journeyed from California here right behind me and landed here in March of 2021. And really, we had to leave the state that raised us because it's impossible to afford yourselves. You cannot be a single person, especially in your middle ages, and afford yourself. California is just not healthy. It's just not a place you can sustain yourself if you weren't already wealthy in the last decade. And that's unfortunate and that's sad. You know, that's home. And we had to make, you know, responsible forward growth decisions coming out of COVID. And here was a good idea. We have some family ties here, so we've known about Huntsville. I've had other family growing up on my dad's side that lived in different parts of Texas, so I'm not unfamiliar. I visited in and out, and it's a place I always had on my radar. You know, if I'm ever going to leave, I might want to try there. And having a tie in the town just kind of sealed the deal. And how I learned about the American Legion, really, they help sustain our family. It took a couple months for us to get our bearings, to get hired. We both got jobs with the TDCJ. And in the interim, you know, I was here a little sooner, so I started work a little sooner, and it was getting really hard for my cousin waiting out all their interview process. Well, we had made friends, and the American Legion basically offered her a job as a bartender, and that sustained her until her first TDCJ paycheck. So that's how we met the Legion. You know, we're VFW kids, much like, you know, you were, Rob.
Or as my dad would say, VF.
Right, yes. You know, with grandpas and uncles at the VFW hall down the road, you know, and you do the pancake breakfast and Easter egg hunts and things. And we kind of had that affiliation growing up. And when I had come home from my second deployment and was thinking I would follow in those footsteps, and the VFW rejected me because my war wasn't a criteria that met their war criteria. Right at that time, they weren't recognizing the Gulf War or the global war on terrorism. It was a stain on them. Well, that pretty much soured it. And so coming here and having my cousin, literally be able to put foot on the table because the Legion had an opening and gave an outsider a chance, let us come and visit and meet people. And, the auxiliary really took me first. They have claimed to me first. Those ladies were just so welcoming and so open and so full of joy in what it is to be supporting the organization as well as the community. How do you not get infected by that? How do you not feel uplifted? That was filling a hole. We weren't from there. We didn't know a lot of people. We weren't sure we were going to make it. We definitely had a void. They were the first ones to open the door and welcome us. And so we both joined the auxiliary. And then a few months in, the Legionnaires started noticing that I'm a doer, and then it was, well, why don't you come to our meetings? You're entitled to both of them.
Sure.
We should have you. You're a veteran. Do this form. Come to this meeting. And it just kind of cycled from there. I took my first office with them in February of 2022 as adjutant, and I've just been continuing on in that role. The website was added on for me, and the social media was added on, and it's just so easy to be joyous and want to celebrate all the good works that we do, not just at our post, but in the organization. How could we not flourish? How can you not put it out there for the community? How can you not share that joy and the awareness? We're just a positive, motivated place. And it's not just Sam Houston Post 95. We're one of 480 posts in the state of Texas. Wow. And you walk in the door to all of us and you feel that joy and you can feel that motivation and that excitement to be in a house of veterans and be doing things outward for other veterans. The rhythm and the momentum just doesn't stop. It's really a big, beautiful thing to get to contribute all the time.
I love it. Part of your story is, and I know there's other pieces of the story, and I would encourage folks, please go to our website at hellohuntsvilletx.com, and you can read more of Roxanne's story. But it's a story of redemption too, and how the Lord has worked in your life, and then through all of this journey, you have met some amazing friends, and you found a place at the Legion.
Yes.
And there's a lot of folks who have, I can never put myself in your shoes. The only thing I can relate to is my dad was in Vietnam, my grandfather fought in World War II, and so there's the military history there. But you served our country, and that is the most selfless sacrifice, in my opinion, that any American can make first and foremost. And it's just like Richard said, and I'm sure we'll talk about Mr. Hendrickson here in just a few moments. He's the chaplain. But it's just like he said that he was telling me that he was talking to a World War II veteran, a few years ago that was well into his early 90s. And that veteran, someone had asked him, would you, if you had to serve right now, would you? And he said, yes.
Yes.
That veteran did in his 90s. He said, I'd go back right now if I had to and serve again. And as a veteran, that's something that stays with you the rest of your life. And you would always say, yes, I will be there for my country. Can you mention briefly, I know you talked a little bit about this, but just how much, and again, I know you don't want to make it about you, but I think your story is important because people need to hear how it's helped you. What has the Legion done for you as far as that camaraderie and the friendships that you've made that have really maybe helped you through some tough times?
I'll just say it. I am alive and breathing and upright and flourishing in a new life here because of that camaraderie and support. I did not come here, I did not arrive okay. I did not have everything that I needed. I was not coming from a good situation in relocating here. It was hard. Being disconnected from 1,826 miles, away from the people that raised me, not knowing if we were going to get from 1 month to the next, am I going to eat? Are the dogs going to eat? Am I stretching my money? I just, you get to, you feel really isolated. I think when we're a veteran, it even becomes doubly or triply so from the civilian experience. And I say that with all the kindness that I can. We are so used to a massive web of brother and sisterhood. We are so used to not having these worries because we're surrounded by our comrades. We're surrounded by brothers and sisters in his arms. We make sure we are all okay. We know who our buddies are. We know who to the left of us and the right of us has our back. We know this. It's just there all the time. You don't have to think of it. And when we come out of that and we start fresh in the civilian life, it's really hard to understand that those connections are still available to us. We have really high highs and really low lows. It's one of the dangers of, mental health and PTSD, all those things. We need a bit more sometimes than those who did not serve. And that's not to discredit anyone out there going through a hardship. It's just a little different when you've been enlisted. And the American Legion really literally gave me a reason to keep waking up. It gave me a reason to keep moving forward and reestablish myself and stay up. The more I learned about it and the more my roles became expanded, the more in love I fell with it. I don't see it as a big effort. I just see it as me giving back to what gave me. And I believe that's community, right?
Yeah, really.
I do a turn for you, you do a turn for me, we do a turn for that one, and we just keep that momentum going. That's community. Well, veterans need that, and our American Legion is a 480 post community of that exact momentum.
Wow. Jason he's been leading a sermon series called Mindset, and when you mentioned the mental health aspect of it, I started having some thoughts of the sermons that you've had, Jason. We have several veterans at our church too.
Rob, your ministry here in Huntsville and Hello Huntsville is to tell the story of Huntsville. Right. And you really can't tell the story of Huntsville without talking about the veteran emphasis that is Huntsville. There's so much. And I think what y'all are doing out there is so important, because what do we say in the sermon series? If you need help, ask for help.
Yes.
And there's so many veterans, like you explained, that are going through these battles. After the battle of the physical battle, they come home and they deal with the mental battle, and then they deal with that isolation, maybe financial issues like you expressed, and a community is so important that they can thrive in. And I'm thankful that you guys open the door to these men and women and say, come here, let us walk beside you in these journeys. Because like you said, you have a relationship with them that people that haven't served could not. You have an ability to know what's going on in their heart and mind that other people just wouldn't. And so I want to say thank you for what you do and what you guys are doing out there.
Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you so much for that. We even if you're not ready to talk about what you're going through, if you're a newer veteran and it's still fresh on you and you just don't know that there's a safe place to talk about it, you can still come in. You can still sit down. Any post near you. We also do a great job of letting you breathe. Just come and be safe. Just come and feel that you're not alone. You don't have to talk if you don't want to. If you're that guy or gal and you just need to come in, it's been one of those days, and you know what? I just want to have a cold beer and smoke a cigarette, but I don't want to do it alone at the kitchen table. Then don't. Come see us. Come to our home. Be your home away from home. It doesn't take very long. I think one of my favorite things about our post is how friendly we are.
Yeah.
No one walks in our door a stranger. We know people are coming in our door, and people will want to talk to you and want to know your story, and we can't wait to ask if you're eligible to join. We can't wait to let you know what we have to offer and how welcome we can be, and how happy we are that you chose to be brave and come in our door. Safe space is a big deal when you're going through those things. Knowing who to talk to is a big deal. And like I said, when you can have a home away from home that respects you and lets you just come and sit at that spot you like to go to at the bar and order your drink and be on your phone and not have a lot of socialization, but still be included because you're still in the environment. I think that speaks volumes to what the Legion can offer beyond, the events and the awareness campaigns and the day-to-day operations. We are a safe space.
I had a great chat yesterday with Chaplain. I went out to the property and I said, Roxanne, I've known you for a while, and I said, I just would like to come out here and see this. So I can have a better understanding. And I was so thankful that Richard Hendrickson was there. He is the Dr. Richard Hendrickson. He is the chaplain over this whole district, correct?
Yes.
And just a tremendous man. And I love what he said, Jason. He said, when you join the military, you are taking an oath to God and to country.
Yes.
And that's the same mantra with the American Legion, God and country. And you were describing the meetings and how y'all open in prayer and have an invocation and do all of these things, honoring God first and country second. And Richard, I want to say Dr. Hendrickson. I don't want to say Richard anymore. My dad,
Dr. Hendrickson Jr.
My dad would pop me if I didn't say his Dr. Hendrickson. But just a tremendous man. Can you highlight a little bit about just his involvement and his compassion that he has over these veterans when he comes?
I would love to. Richard has been a Legionnaire for some time. He is actually from the East Coast, so he's another import over this way, and we're just blessed that he landed in Huntsville, and our post is his home. He is a wealth of compassion and warmth, and he is also a really great teacher and mentor of accountability and vulnerability. He has the words to let you know it's okay to not be okay, and he champions mental and emotional health. And to have an actual, your pastor, is not just filling a role. Richard is a pastor. He has a counseling degree. He's Dr. Richard Hendrickson Jr. for a reason, and he uses all of those aspects as a Legionnaire. And he does outreach and support all of the time. You can walk up to him randomly at any time if he and his wife are in the post, and you might have a conversation as simple as, "Ooh, chaplain, what you drinking?" Or, to as deep as, "Wow, a passage is on me and I need to talk about it."
Yeah.
And he just does. He silently battles some really intricate health issues his own self. He's had cancer and recovered a few times, and there's some uncertainty what this next round may look like. You don't know that unless he tells you. You don't know that because his composure and the words that he uses and just his energetic manner of being are so much beyond what's going on in him. He really puts in the time. We have 17 posts in our district. We're all what we call the district in the sticks. We're all out here scattered around the piney woods. And it's a lot of travel in between. And he just does it, and it's not even a question. If there is a need, he tends to us. He does it inward in our posts. He does it outwardly through our ones. He's just really a good moral guide and a good faith compass, so to speak.
Well, we're going to talk to Dr. Hendrickson more. I've extended an invitation for him to come on the show.
He will.
I think it was so great yesterday. So many times pastors, and Jason, this, it's, we were talking in a staff meeting about how pastors have a flock and, sheep to tend to is basically, saying that in a very positive way. And how many times do pastors get to be prayed over? And yesterday I just kind of felt a tug when we were leaving yesterday just to pray over him and to thank the Lord for him for the great things that he's doing in the lives of veterans. And, it was just so great to embrace him in that way and to see a man who is there to support others. And, I encourage you this morning to pray for those, not just veterans, but pray for those veteran leaders that are in these organizations, such as the chaplains, because, of course, they are seeing a lot. Jason, in ministry, you see a lot. And you told me when I first got on at Baptist, you said, hey, sometimes – you said, ministry can be very messy, and it is because people are going through a lot. And that's not saying that in a bad thing, but
it's true.
People are going through a lot, and people are looking for something. And I believe that ultimate something comes through Jesus Christ. And I think it's so important what you guys are doing. The work that you've done in the community, along with those around you, has resulted in quite a few awards. And I wanted to give you an opportunity. Again, I know you're not highlighting yourself. This is highlighting the post. Can you mention some of these really coveted awards that you guys have received recently?
I would love to. It is such an incredible feeling to get to say we are an award-winning post again. It's been some time since Sam Houston Post 95 has put themselves out there and been brave and submitted things and done high merited awards within our organization. And it's just to be rewarded for doing something that is my most favorite thing. For something, that is just, I love it every day, no matter what, is really great. We won a first place award for our post yearbook, which really, it's a leather bound year in the life of for us. And that was a really big thing because I was on the judging committee and I gave our book the worst score, because when you're looking around the table and seeing everybody else's yearbooks, I just thought, oh my God, what was I thinking? Why am I on the table? And then to find out the other judge gave us the highest marks of all of them was just really humbling and really great. It's effort. It takes hours. It's all the photos. It's all the content we've written. It's all the events we've had. It's all those things put together in a way that makes sense to someone who's not one of us.
And this was up quite a few against a few other posts.
Yeah, we had
quite a bit of them.
Well, we had, out of the 480 posts in Texas, we had a total of 67, which includes us, entered the Yearbook and Media Awards.
Wow.
There were actually 15 other yearbooks against ours. So to say that we got first amongst our peers is actually, like I said, it was just really great and very humbling, because I really did not think I could hold water against the great work I was seeing from everyone else.
Yeah.
So that was fun. We also took a first place for our post website. And I am in awe of that more than anything, because I am not a .comer. I am not a techie from Cali. I am not.
You're not chilling with Elon.
We learned this hard ways, right? I'm a Marine. It makes sense. I grunted my way through it, really. And it's just, we have a website builder that we use that it's point and click. Do you like this template? Great. Click on it. Do you got a photo you want it had? It goes here. Great. Click on it. And I can do that. If a grunt can do it, anyone can do it. And then the more you learn, the more fun it becomes, right? And that we weren't in a plaque for that was just really great, because I had been peeking on other websites from other posts, and I always see there's so much room to improve. Oh, I should have thought of that. Oh, we should have done that. Oh, look at how their banner goes, right? But no, ours is merited too. And that was fun. The other things we got were a second place for the editorial content, and that's all the script we write for our website and for our Facebook. And then our Facebook page and group took a second place. And that really is a big statement, because we live on Facebook. We have members of every age range, veterans and support, that have figured out, or we put on their phone that big blue F, so they know, go there, and here we are, and now you're in the loop.
I love it. See, but that's this. But see, here you're talking. You're saying I'm not a techie and this and that, but here's the truth of Roxanne. She did communications at TDCJ, worked in that area, did an awesome job, by the way,
in the tablet program.
Yeah, and just wonderful work for TDCJ. But here's the thing. You explained something in a very easy way that has made technology easy. You said, go to the big blue F on your phone. You didn't say, tap the Facebook icon. You made it so simple, and that takes a great person to be able to teach someone that.
Well, that simplicity is how we won. And I promise you, no one was more in awe of me. I mean, you're in a room with a couple thousand of your peers, and the stage is long, and everybody can see you. And I really do like to be underground and behind the scenes. I really, really do. I'm comfortable when we are flourishing because I promoted you. That's where my joy comes from.
Yeah.
And the last couple of times, my name just kept getting called, and I'm just sitting in our row like, what is this? And our vice commander who was there with us, Wes Owens, he literally had to look down at me and go, that is you. Like, go.
Wow. Did you start having, how many folks were represented from Post 95?
Oh, we had 5 delegates from our post, which was really great. And there were a lot of other posts in our district that sent 1 or 2 delegates too. And as a district, we made history. I'll just explain this really quick because a lot of people probably don't know this part either. So the American Legion absolutely has a structure like any good corporation would. And it works very much akin to our regular government structure. So we have the American Legion National, and that is based out of Indianapolis, Indiana. So that is the White House, right? And we do have a national commander. So we have a veteran who is our national representative that is voted by election. He is our congressman. He goes to the floor and speaks to the House twice a year for veterans. Awesome. On behalf of veterans, our legislation, bills, changes, policy changes, financial cuts, anything positively or negatively that's going to affect the veterans in our nation, we get that representation. He is our voice of almost 3 million on that floor.
Wow.
Not every organization gets that.
Yeah.
Well, we do. So from the national level, then you come down to the department level. So every state is a department. So we all belong to the American Legion Department of Texas. Mm-hmm. And we have a state commander. So that's kind of like our VP, our representation up. And then under him, we have divisions, and then districts, and then posts.
Oh, wow.
So
during this award ceremony, I can just see the 5 delegates from 95 back every time. You know how they chant USA, USA? They're back, Huntsville, Huntsville, putting us on the map. So
honestly,
praise God for
we
that.
were so in awe. We knew membership awards were going to be a big deal, and our district commander really was on the stage more than anyone because we set historic records for our little district out here in the sticks.
That's wonderful.
And we were underestimated. And when you're the underdog and you exceed everything they said you couldn't, and you did more, it is the best feeling.
The best analogy of that is Will Ferrell's movie Dodgeball, a true underdog story.
There you go. We fully are. We fully are. We fully are. 3 years ago, in that great big ballroom where we all meet at the hotel in Austin for our convention, our district was, and our past commander, Terry Batson, it's the best to hear him tell the story because he would tell you they were from far back. Not the way back, not the back 40, the far way back.
We're talking Hardin, Jefferson.
Where you're trying to see the stage. And then, and then a couple years later, last year, we were midway up in the room. We had done big work, and we were midway, and we could actually see the stage. Well, this year we were the front row. There was there were VIPs and us between the stage. So it already was a very momentous occasion. It already was history made for our district and also in our division. But then independently, so many of our posts besides ourselves were walking the stage and getting awards. And it's hard work. Membership is hard. Getting veterans who are not members of the Legion to understand, first, where we're different from the VFW, and second, what you really can get back for, the $50 a year that we ask of you. It's hard. We are a hard sell. You can't just get a veteran to believe things. We're not, we're very skeptical. Try to take one of us car shopping. You're not going to have a fun day.
Trust me, I went with my dad before.
We're going to think about it very differently than you and the salesperson are going to think about it. It's not easy to get one of us to sign our name on something in our afterlife of being a veteran versus active duty. It's not easy to get us to believe that by joining this organization, I'm serving again, and it is equivalent to being in the uniform. But it is. It really is. And when you get past the first hardship, okay, we got you in. You believe. Now let us show you. Then you see all these veterans who were like me, and they're all getting to flourish from the same support and ability to go back in service. You just cannot say enough good things about a national organization that cares for all of our community. You just cannot. And I do mean that. We are not only veterans. We have the auxiliary. We have the Sons of the American Legion, which are male descendants of veterans. We also have a junior auxiliary program. Our ladies and little gentlemen and our juniors for our post won program of the year.
Oh, wow.
That was a great big deal also. So it's not only the veterans that are winning things. It's not just us by any means. Our auxiliary smoked their membership. They won awards. Our little post out here in Huntsville now hosts the next American Legion Auxiliary's vice president for the state of Texas is our very own Miss Leanne Stewart. Wow. She's been at Benny Rush Law Office for a long time, and she has definitely paid her dues as an auxiliary member. Hours of travel, hours of service, hours of outreach, hours of food, anything we want to do. If you've got an auxiliary unit, you just kind of know the ladies are bringing the food, and they do, but it's a lot, and it's all of the time. And so to get to see a career journey like that epitomized where she's landed now at the top and we get to say, and she's one of ours, that right there I think was so much bigger than anything I did with a piece of paper or a point and a click. Really, it's all of the giving and all of the care and also the mentoring. When you elevate yourself, like with any position in any job, your point is to mentor people beyond you to come up in, right? When we need officers, as an officer of the post, it's my job to find someone that I think could do what I do and be better at it and inspire them to run and mentor them. You're supposed to do that. Leanne has a legacy of doing that, and it's just a really great thing to get to be a part of.
That's wonderful. Well, Roxanne, we got about 3 more minutes. I always love having you on, and you're welcome anytime you want to come. You just let me know.
I so appreciate that. Thank you.
What are some other things? And again, briefly, we have about 3 minutes. Some other things that you wanted to make sure that we highlight this morning.
Oh, this is so important. This Friday, tomorrow, from 7 to 10, If you are a veteran in Walker County and you're not a Legion member, or you're a family member of a veteran, please, please, please come to Sam Houston Post 95's karaoke membership drive. Our doors are open to our veterans and veterans family members right here and the general public to come in, to sing a song, to talk about membership, to just meet our post, feel our energy and be part of something really fun that's also very beneficial. We always are recruiting for new members, but letting people know that you can just come in from nowhere is something we need to do a better job at. So thank you for, giving me a few minutes to say that. We want all of you. If you're a veteran or a veteran's family member, we want to meet you. We want you to come to our post tomorrow night, 7 to 10. We have some giveaways. We have a lot of business we can talk about with you. But more than anything, we would just like to show you what we're about. So come and join us.
I can throw down a pretty mean Hank Williams Jr. family tradition, by the
See,
way.
We need to be
you would
there,
get
Rob.
you would get everybody singing with you, and you'd be so welcome.
Jason can throw down a really good Warren G regulators.
I'm still working on the Bay.
It's all right. You'll have backup.
Well, Roxanne, thank you so much.
Thank you,
we
too.
appreciate you and all that you do. For more information, please go online to samhoustonpost95.org. The Sam Houston Post 95, a friend of Hello Huntsville, and we want to do what we can continue to do to help promote the good in our community through our veterans. Tara Burnett joining us earlier, and she said,
"Oh yes."
She said the American Legion does so much for the veteran community, great people and fun times at the Legion, and that's what Huntsville's about: is giving back to not only this community as a whole, but especially our veterans. And I'm looking forward to more things that we're going to do together. So
Me too. I'm very excited. Tara is in her own right amazing. There's not another word. She always celebrates what we do, and I always say, no, ma'am, look in the mirror. What she does on a personal level all the way through a professional level is just so critically important for Huntsville. The Hearts Museum itself, when you walk in there, that vibe you feel, Tara did that. And, I think that's another area of improvement, right? We need to do a little better of a job crediting her because she won't credit herself.
Well, all right. Well, this will wrap up this segment with our friend Roxanne Moss from Sam Houston American Legion Post 95. Again, more information online at samhoustonpost95.org. We appreciate you. God bless
Thank you
It's
so
always
much.
so wonderful to have you.
Service.
It was great to be here. Thank you.
We'll step aside, take a break. More to come here. Our Thursdays, our Thankful Thursdays, brought to you by First Baptist Huntsville. And, of course, we got that keyword going, picnic, along with your name on the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line 936-339-0139. We'll take a brief break. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. More to come. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville. Maybe some news you can use coming up. We'll be right back.
I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas. Hey friends, Rob Hipp here for Elliott's Jewelers. I wanted to take a brief moment to let you know if you're looking for someone in the jewelry business right here in Huntsville, look no further than my good friend Elliott Herslick. He's helped me out time and time again, whether it was that wedding band that I needed a while back or that special ring for Bridget. He's always been there for me. He goes above and beyond. He's also a person who gives back to the local community. I like to do business with those who give back, and that's exactly what Elliott Herslick of Elliott's Jewelers does. Hey, if you feel like you don't know what to do, maybe you don't know where to turn, what to look for, Elliott is the person. Again, it's Elliott's Jewelers. You can visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com for more information. And when you call him, let him know that you heard from his good friend Rob Hipp. Again, it's Rob here for Elliott's Jewelers. Visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com. The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
Here we grow again. Tomorrow's Promise is excited to announce our third location to better serve the families of Walker County and surrounding areas. At Tomorrow's Promise, we are more than just childcare. We pride ourselves on partnering with parents and creating a place where every child is respected, loved, and nurtured in the highest quality environment. See what makes us the perfect fit for your child and their needs. Schedule a tour and learn more about Montessori.
Tomorrow's Promise Academy on Veterans Memorial now open. Visit tpms.life for more information. Education you can trust.
All right, here's a Jason Bay walk-on intro music here.
All right,
I'm waiting for that guy, in the background to go, what? That screamo stuff.
Yeah.
What?
Maybe we need that.
WW tonight on WWE. It's Jason, Pastor Bay.
So you're natural at this, Rob.
Were you ever into like WWF growing up?
Yeah, I was. We used to watch that all the time. It was crazy.
They had to change. We talked about this yesterday. They went from WWF to WWE. World Wildlife Foundation sued them.
Oh, really?
And that's why they changed it.
I didn't know that. I was like,
you've been around forever. Why did – and it is what it is. I will say this, though. I'm not getting political. I did watch, and I'll probably watch the DNC as well, but I watched the RNC. It was really cool to see that. My favorite thing of the whole convention
I know where you're going.
was Hulk Hogan. All right, brother. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I
do.
He
gets up there and he rips off his shirt and he's like, "You've got my vote, brother." I mean, that was the best I've ever seen. And that a while back, he posted a video proclaiming his faith in Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, if you're thinking about, if you're in a room and there's a guy like Hulk Hogan and he's like, "You better get to know Jesus, brother." You're like, "You better get to know Jesus."
Yeah, I think his life has changed a lot over the past few years. He's been through a lot. I haven't followed him that closely, but I've just heard it, reading news reports. But I think he's come around.
Yes, sir. Well, it's the Jason Bay segment here on Good Morning Huntsville.
All right. Well, I'm just want to talk to you, Rob, about a few things that are going on in our world today, and this is news you can use that you can talk about, hopefully, over the dinner table or with other people. So, the recent reports are out. We're entering the end of the summer season. So, a lot of people are coming back from family vacations and other things like that. And there's a recent report about the travel industry in America. And the travel industry, as far as families, is seeing a major uptick, especially since COVID. In fact, in the last year, there's been an 8% increase compared to last year over families that are taking vacations together. And this year, we didn't get a chance. Our family didn't get a chance to go anywhere on vacation. But I was just thinking about family vacations in general. Maybe is there a family vacation, and it doesn't have to be an extravagant one, that you remember that as a kid that you went on, or did your family take vacations, or did y'all not go on a lot of vacations, or maybe one that you take with your immediate family now?
For some reason, I just thought of Forrest Gump. She's on vacation. And I did want to say, I'll answer your question, but I apologize. For a brief moment, you were known as Juston Bay. I typed in your name, and I put a T in there, so it's Jason Bay.
I ain't worried about it.
Vacation, the one that comes to mind to me was Corpus Christi when I was growing. We didn't go on a lot of vacations.
Yeah.
We went to see family. We always went down to Pearsall, south of San Antonio. We went there quite a bit, but I remember my dad he told me one time, he says, he's like, I hope this doesn't upset you, but I just don't feel like going anywhere, because he'd seen so much in the Navy.
Right, yeah.
And he said, but if you ever get a chance, go out. I want you to discover the world. And so as I got older and could drive, I went all over the place on my own. And, being in the broadcasting world, I've been blessed previously in the broadcasting world and the sports world. It was like free travel, you got to go to all these different. So we've been all over the U.S. as far as that goes. But as a family, the one vacation that stands out to me is the one of why I do not like deep water to this day.
All right. See, this is why we're here. Let's hear it.
I will not jump into people look at me like, what's wrong with you? And it's the same way I look at people that are afraid to speak to 10,000 people. What's wrong with you? It's not hard. To me, deep water's hard. I don't like it. I'm afraid. I don't know. Transparency, I can float on my back. I don't think I could tread water. I will not jump into a pool that I can't put my feet on the bottom of. I will never jump into a deep end where I've got to swim my way out of it. Just saying.
Yeah.
It all stems from this family vacation. When I was a little kid, we went down to Corpus, and my Uncle Quincy was there, had an old beat up, the old picture, just close your eyes and picture the old beat up station wagon with the fake wood panel.
Yeah, okay, I got it right here.
That was great Uncle Quincy. And we went down to the coast, and I got sucked into an undertow.
Oh, yeah.
Pulled me underwater, scared me to death.
I bet.
And from that, and before then, I had no fear of water. After that, I was like, I never want to be in any type of deep water in my life. And here I am, 40 years old, and this was like when I was probably 6 or 7, maybe 6, maybe 5. And to this day, I still have vivid memories of that.
Oh, wow.
Getting sucked into that undertow that scared me to death.
How old were you?
Probably 5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Yeah, maybe
wow.
7, somewhere in that area. Yeah.
Did you have a float or anything on?
No,
or
back in the day, there was no such thing.
There
was no car seat. There was no car seats either. Did you have a car seat growing up?
No.
So here's the other part of these vacations. When we would go somewhere, my dad had an F100. We're talking not an F-150.
Yeah.
We couldn't get that model. We could only get the F100.
Right.
Well, the F100 was the one he had was like a limited edition, and so whenever, and I'm not talking like limited edition leather seats. No, I'm talking about like they didn't make many of them because they weren't great trucks, and it did not have an extended cab. So now we had 5 in our family: mom, dad, brother, sister, and me. How would you ride in a single cab truck for 3 hours down to Pearsall, Texas, in a single cab truck, no car seats?
Yeah.
I remember sitting on my mom's lap, brother and sister all tight. Dad was right there. That's how we traveled growing up.
I know it. Travel was a lot different now. I mean, my kids, when we travel somewhere, they want the finest of all things. You just roughed it back in the day. You just hoped to get there. Riding in the back of trucks, remember that? That was a thing. You sat in the back of a truck going to town or whatever. Now that's not even heard of.
I will say this, just to honor my dad. My dad was a great man. He had his struggles like all of us have. But there was back roads that my dad took to get to Grandpa and Grandpa's, and it involved because he could get something in a tall can in a paper sack.
I understand.
And he goes, "You're allowed to do that on these roads." So we would, instead of going 35 straight to Pearsall,
right.
we would detour and go through Seguin and Geronimo and all these towns. I'm like, why don't we just? And I'm sitting there as like a 10-year-old kid, like, why don't we just get there? And Mom would say, "Well, Daddy's got to take the back roads." So anyways,
the journey is part of the joy, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So you mentioned that you have been a lot of different places through your career, going throughout the United States, different places. So if you could take your children and your family, maybe when they get a little older, to one place that you would like to go and take them and show them, what would that be?
Man, Las Vegas. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Definitely not. I've been there. It's boring. Went there as a broadcasting. We were broadcasting a tournament. It was actually the most boringest place I've ever been. Because I'm not in it. I'm not judging, but that lifestyle. I was like, I don't feel like dealing with all that. Where I would take the family. Bridget wants to go overseas. If I had the money to, I would definitely go on a European tour. I picture our family kind of being like the Lampoons, back in the day with Chevy Chase in those movies.
Right.
I would love to go to Europe. I'd love to go see just everything over there in Europe. I would, where I'd really love to go, and I truly mean this, and, things are so turbulent, right? I would love to go to the Holy Land. Have you ever been?
No, I haven't.
Man, that would be so incredible. I would love to take my family and Bridget and our children. I would love to go to Jerusalem and the Holy Land. I think that would be so incredible.
Yeah.
Somewhere within the United States, I'd like to go take my children to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome.
Right.
Never been.
Yeah, I was thinking about this because, like I said, my kids are they're getting older. 2 of them are in college, and the third one will be in college next year. And so, we knew we couldn't go anywhere this year. We're like you. We're limited on funds and things like that, and especially when you're trying to take a trip with 10 children, it really limits what you can do and where you can go. But I remember a vacation whenever I was a kid that really transformed my life. It's kind of like you. And I was a young boy, probably 6, 7 years old.
Young OG back then.
Yeah, that's right. And my dad worked for an oil company in Houston. We lived in Cyprus at the time, and he worked for an oil company. And they needed this truck, big oil, like a 1-ton truck, carried out to a place where they were doing prospecting in Montana. And so the company said, "Hey, if anybody wants to take this truck out there, we'll pay, and you can take your family with you, and you drive this truck out there, and then we'll pay for your rent car and to travel back."
Was it a big, huge
Yeah,
truck?
It was a big truck, and then we rented a car so we could come back. So we got a chance to go to Montana, to Yellowstone National Park, and we had to experience all that on a very limited amount of money, because we didn't have a lot of money. We didn't take a lot of vacations either as a child. But we went through there, and just even that far back in my life, it's just a part of the world I will never forget. And the memories that I had of seeing the wildlife out there, the elk, the buffalo, and all of that. And I wanted to go back, We've always wanted to go back, but I've never been back. And I would love to take the kids out there sometime and see that. Or even like to Colorado. I was thinking about this year. Kim and I were talking about maybe trying to get out there next year to take them out. A few years ago, we went to, with the church group, we went out to the Smoky Mountains. Oh, awesome. And, of course, like I said, we didn't have a lot of money. So one of the church members, they had a timeshare out there, and we got to use their timeshare and stay there. And we went to the little touristy things, but we went up into the Smoky Mountains one day, and we saw black bear up there, and we walked on the trails, and it was in the fall, and so the leaves were changing. And the kids, I mean, they absolutely loved it. And all of them, from the oldest to the youngest, it was just being outdoors together. I mean, they loved that so much more than they love like the touristy type things, the putt-putt golf in town or whatever else that you pay money for. They just love being outdoors. And so I thought, man, I would love to take them and do something like that. So I'm hoping to get the chance to do that next year maybe if the Lord wills.
My favorite non-group vacation that I ever went on, I went with the first time I ever flew. And I was scared of flying. It's like I told my mom my mom doesn't like flying, and my sister at the time was living in South Dakota. I said, Mom, I've driven up here once. I can't drive any. It's 17 hours. I said, Mom, you're going to have to just overcome this fear of flying. And she did. She's still not a fan. And she goes, well, what could happen? I said, the worst thing that's going to happen is we're going to go to Jesus. I said, the plane's going to crash, and that's the end of us. That's the absolute worst thing that could happen on the plane. And she's like, well, gee, that makes me feel better. But I had flown the very first time I flew was with my Aunt Susan. And we flew. She lives in Pearsall. She came up to Austin. We flew out of Austin Bergstrom, and we went to Washington State. My cousin worked for Microsoft. Her son for many years up there, and he lived in Redmond. Microsoft, of course, is in Bellevue, and so we are in Redmond. He lived in Bellevue, and so just right down. It's like a 30-mile drive from where he lived to the Microsoft campus. But I remember that going there because that was the first time that I had really been out of state, except Oklahoma, once when I was younger. And it was just this new eye-opening experience. Like when you're a child and you're riding your bike in the neighborhood, and then there's that time where you get to ride your bike outside the neighborhood.
That's right.
The world opens up, and you're like, oh, man, this is all – it was the coolest experience. Now, the bad part of the experience was first time I flew, we're flying over – what's the mountains? The Rockies there. So we're flying over. There's a lot of updraft. Well, all of a sudden, the plane literally feels like it falls out of the sky for about 5 seconds.
I've experienced that before.
And you hear the noise like the zzz, like you hear, and it hit, and it's like you hit a rock, and everything shook, and even one of the compartments opened. My aunt has her hand on me, and man, she took it off. There's indentions, and I look over at some business guy, and he's like, well, that's never happened before. And I'm like, this is – so that was and I remember that. But I remember going to Washington State, and then we went on a thing called the Victoria Clipper. We went up to Canada, to Victoria, Canada. It's they're all about flowers in that town. Everywhere was hanging baskets. And we went to a place called the Bouchard Gardens. It is a beautiful former mine that they, stone quarry that they have turned into this beautiful garden. And I want to take Bridget there. Kim would love something like that too. I mean, it's just absolutely one of the most beautiful cities I've ever been to in my life.
Yeah, and I think it's so important to get out and see the world. And like you said, when you're driving as a kid, you see something new. And to me, it just makes you appreciate God that much more, to see the creativity of the Creator. So when you think about it, when this article came out, the top travel destinations of Americans in 2024, what states do you think were the number one places that people wanted to visit?
Texas.
Oh, that was on the list, actually.
I don't think it's number one.
No, it's not number one. It's in the top 10, though.
What? Give me a hint of the number one.
Beaches.
Oh, California?
That's
or
number
Florida?
2. Florida's number
Florida.
1. Florida's number 1.
Okay.
Florida, California, New York, Nevada, Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Texas, Hawaii, North Carolina, Mexico. And I haven't been out of the United States that much. Okay, now, of all the places, what do you think are the most eager to travel from? The state that most people are eager to travel from, to leave from?
California.
North Dakota.
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Trust me, that's very eager. In fact, we left permanently. Sorry, North Dakota friends. Yeah, if you lived in Texas and you were born, you would get it. You would understand. Okay.
No, the number one is New Jersey.
So people are eager. Probably all the congestion.
Probably ready to get out. Yeah.
Wow.
So, hey, I wanted to read this passage of scripture just in line with this. It says, And Lord, O Lord, how majestic name in all the earth. You have set your glory above the heavens. When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars, which you have set in place, what is man that you are mindful of him? The Son of Man that you care for him. You know, you read this passage of Scripture, and it reminds us that God not only declares his glory in his Scripture in the church, but he also declares it in all of creation. So take the time to make time to go do something. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can be very inexpensive. But I know in the busyness of life, it gets away from you. It gets away from you. Time gets away from you. Take the time just to do. Some of our greatest memories that we ever had were just when we did stuff with our family, and it was just simple things. So I want to encourage you, Rob, and everybody out there to start now and making room in your schedule and in your finances to do a little something. See, experience the world.
That is the inspiration of the day, Jason, and I appreciate that. You know, my nieces are in town, and we, you know, usually on Fridays I work too because I catch up on a lot of things from here, and then I usually catch up on finishing up some video things at church. You know, we're closed on Friday, but I love being up at the church. I'll say it like this. I love being up at church all the time.
I do too.
You know,
I love it. And the people that come by, and every day is a new day.
I'm thinking about putting a cot there in the FLC, if you don't mind. And Bridget may not like that, but, you know, thought about just putting a cot up there. You know?
There's probably cots already there,
Well,
to be honest with you.
I'm serious about this, though. It's the first time, and I don't mean this negatively about anywhere else that I've been, but it's the first time since I was in high school when I just absolutely loved being at Main Street Baptist Church. I was always there.
Mm-hmm.
And I rode I loved it so much, I'd ride my bike there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the first time in my life where every day I love being at church at first. There's something special about the people. And I'm not saying it because you're here and I go there, and I'm not, but I'm just saying I just love the atmosphere. I love the people. Most importantly, I love what God is doing. And if you want to experience that same thing, please come join us on Sunday and be a part. We'd love to have you.
Absolutely.
So, well, Jason, appreciate you being here today. We got to get over to our 0 Degree Creation. Do you have one more moment?
Yeah.
I know we're going a little long today, and that's okay because it's been fun. But let's head over to our 0 Degree Creations phone and text line. The randomizer has picked. This may be a new person.
Hello?
Hello. Good morning.
Hi.
This is I was going to joke with you, but you're a new caller, and I can't do that, ma'am. I don't want you to get mad at me. I was going to say this is Wilbur.
Oh, is this?
This
is Rob from Hello Huntsville.
Maybe I was going to say this is Wilbur from Wilbur's Tree Service. You owe us for that tree, but I just couldn't do it. Yeah. So who?
Well, you know that's ironic because I just had like 20 trees cut down.
See there?
Well,
you could have collected.
Well, hold on. This is Wilbur. I'm the subcontractor. I need you to Venmo me. Who is this we're speaking with this morning?
This is Irene.
Oh, Irene. Well, good. Have you called in the show before, Irene?
No, I was a guest one time, but I'm friends with Roxanne.
You were?
I know Billy. We were at the Elk Lodge.
Ah, yes, but I don't. Yeah, I don't know if you've won on the show before, have you?
No, I have not. No.
Awesome. Are you here in Huntsville, Irene?
I do live in Huntsville, but right now I'm downtown Houston at the medical center.
Ah, well, we hope everything's okay down there. Irene, you have won a gift certificate to Double Dave's here in Huntsville. How does that sound?
Sounds delicious.
Awesome. Well, you can pick that up Monday through Thursday at First Baptist from 9 to 3. Do you know where First Baptist is located? We're just right downtown, and I'll text you on that so you can. Okay. I'll text you where it is. Hey, before you go, I know it sounds like you're busy. I wanted to ask you, what are you most thankful for about Huntsville, Texas?
What am I thankful for Huntsville, Texas? It being a small community and everybody helps each other.
That's right.
And my husband bringing me there.
And your husband bringing you there.
I'm originally, he brought me there. I'm from Humble, so
okay.
That's not far.
Awesome. Well, Irene, God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hey, do you watch often? How did you find out about us this morning?
Actually, Roxanne told me a while back, and that's how I saw her interview, I think, last year.
Oh, okay.
And then I went on as the secretary from the Elk Lodge. Christine and I was on there, and I was sitting here just, playing on my phone, and then I saw Roxanne was going to be on this morning, so I figured I'd watch her.
All right.
In your mind, did you hear Roxanne? Dun, 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 dun. All right. Well, hey.
It is karaoke on Friday nights at the Legion.
That's
so.
right. Rob's a perfect candidate for this.
No,
I mean, we've got to get him up there.
Got two children that we bathe at 7 o'clock. I got a great excuse. All right, Irene. Well, God bless you.
It starts at 7:30. So
yeah. Hey, bathe the babies, put them to sleep, and leave them there. Come on. I would not do that.
They'll never know. You got the camera.
Well, all right. Well, God bless you, Irene. Thanks, and I'll text you information. But again, congratulations, and that's on the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
I love that. Love new folks.
Yeah.
See, sometimes I get this feeling of like I could joke with this person, but we don't have like a drop thing, and you never. you, Jason, you get me 10 years ago. I hope that they don't use those as training calls against how to deal with irate people, because
we need more of that, Rob. We need more of that.
No.
I mean, people would tune in just for that.
Yeah, they would.
They would tune in just for that.
That's that shock jock mess, and I don't want to do that, man. It's a. But think about that. Here's the inspiration, and I mean this seriously. When you're on the phone with somebody, that's another person on the other line. Now, AI may be a different story today, but I would say 99% of the time you're talking with somebody, that is an actual legitimate conversation. That's somebody. That's somebody trying to earn a living.
Yeah.
It's somebody that may honestly just they're miserable at their job, especially those telemarketing things.
Yeah,
that those folks are miserable, a lot of them. Have compassion.
Right.
There's been a lot of people that I didn't. I'll be honest. I'm being real with you. 10 years ago, I didn't have compassion. I was so upset. I didn't treat, and the golden rules, treat others as you wish to be treated. And I started thinking a lot about that. How are you communicating with people that you don't know? When you talk to somebody on the phone, that is somebody. That's a dad. That's a grandparent. That's a mother, a daughter. That's a sister. That's somebody. And you know what? Somebody is everybody to God. And think about that. You have the chance of changing somebody's life and potentially their eternity by just being kind to them. And I always tell folks, God bless you, have a great day. And you can always tell the companies that don't allow them to say that because they're like, oh, you too, sir, have a good day. But then there's the other company, well, God bless you, thank you so much, Think about that and that act of kindness. And I know it gets frustrating, but those people are just doing their job. It's not their fault that the insurance company is dragging their feet.
Right.
They're just answering the phone.
That's right. That's right.
So, Jason, any final remarks? It's been a fun morning.
It has been. A lot of great people in our community. We're just reminded of, again, that we do serve in a very selfless community. And it amazes me, the guests that you have on, how many of them, their life work is just helping other people.
That's what it's all about. Well, we'll wrap it up today, reminding you, friends, that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We really do need each other. So please provide a word of encouragement, lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Billy Cawthon and I will have the show for you on a Friday. And, normally I have my phone up, Jason, and I usually see who's on with us. And tomorrow it is Brian Mathis of the Huntsville Kiwanis Club. So we're going to be talking about an upcoming event that they have, so you don't want to miss that, as we love supporting these local organizations. I'll wrap it up again. We're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We really aren't. Friends, please provide a word of encouragement, lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Until tomorrow, good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. We'll see you back at 7:30 right here on Good Morning Huntsville. And Jason, have a blessed day.
God bless you, brother. Appreciate you.